Court has adjourned for the day in the bail hearing of Bafana Mahungela, 21-year-old, accused of murdering Johannesburg teacher Kirsten Kluyts. It's now been confirmed in court that the teacher had been pregnant at the time of the murder.
You will not dispute that the day that is the 29th of October, she was one of the people that were participating in this running event.
No, I wouldn't dispute.
And also, you will not dispute the fact that she had participated in previous events. You don't know.
I don't know.
And again, on that day, as she was one of the people that were involved, she was pregnant. You will not dispute that. You don't know.
I don't know.
Newzroom Afrika's Zikhona Tshona was live for us in that courtroom. She joins us now in studio on the developments of the day. Zikhona, good to have you. So far, we've been, of course, hearing the defense leading the witness, that is Bafana Mahungela, who decided, by the way, to take a stand, something unusual in itself in a bail application. However, today, that particular version getting to be tested by the state. Is it still holding solidly to what we could have been hearing since last week?
It's too early to tell. I mean, he's been detailing his movements from the 28th, which is the day before Kirsten Kluyts' body was found, up till the 29th of October, the day that her body was found. So on the 28th, he was in Alexandra Township attending a pajama party. Then early on the 27th, he took a taxi from Alexandra Township to Sandton. He then got lost and missed his bus stop on the taxi. And then when he got off, he knew he had to walk the one direction towards his residence. Then he saw this park while he was getting lost, walked into the park, went to the restaurant, took photographs of the menu with the intention of one day bringing his girlfriend to the restaurant. Then, instead of turning back to walk the same way he came in, he continued to explore these sports grounds. And he says then he stopped for a moment to release himself, and then he noticed there was something covered in a rag. He went down, he noticed it was a body, it was a female body. He says he turned the body over, and then he checked if the body was alive, if the person was responsive. Then he says he was shocked to see that, no, actually, this person is no longer alive. Now, according to his version, he says, had she been alive, he would have tried to assist her in whatever circumstance she was faced with. But also, a big question is then, why didn't you turn back to go and report this matter to the restaurant? You know there were people at the restaurant. Yeah. Or why didn't you at some point or any point before you were arrested go to the police and say, I saw a body? He says he was too shaken. He was traumatized. He didn't want to be involved or implicated in a GBV matter. So now we know. We've seen the footage displayed, or photographs rather, of the CCTV footage played out in court, where we see him walking into the sports ground wearing a black T-shirt. Then he says, according to his version as well, he does not dispute walking in, so the image is there. Then we see another image of him walking out, still wearing the black T-shirt, his black T-shirt. Then we know the state said last week that he is seen in the CCTV footage, but which they are now only showing us the photographs of, trying to shove the clothes of Kirsten Kluyts into a drain. Right. He does not dispute that he did that either. But at some point, between his walk from the sports grounds to this drain, he took off his black T-shirt and put on her T-shirt, which is blue, the one that she was wearing on the day she was running. He says he used his black T-shirt to cover up these clothes. He says he was frightened. He didn't actually know at that time what to do. He was in a state of panic. Then he proceeded to walk to his residence, and he informed the first person that he got there and saw, which was the girlfriend of the caretaker, and said, listen, this is what I've just witnessed. He then told the caretaker as well, and he names a few other people that he saw. He told what he saw on that day. But at no point was this matter reported to any legal authorities or even the sports grounds itself up until his arrest. So now, he does admit to taking the clothes, and he says, in fact, I pulled the clothes off her. Right. He didn't take the cell phone. The cell phone he left there. The state says they put it to him, in fact, to say, the reason he didn't take the cell phone is because you knew with the cell phone you can be traced.
Right.
Now, he's maintained that he didn't take the cell phone because he's not a thief.
Okay.
Also, he doesn't want to see himself in a jail.
Okay.
So he says he didn't take the cell phone because he didn't need the cell phone. He says he took the clothes because he realized that he has contaminated with the crime scene and he doesn't want to find himself in conflict or in trouble with the law, particularly in a matter that involves gender-based violence.
And he didn't, I suppose, at that particular point, see the interfering with the clothes as also interfering with the crime scene that could put him in the scene of the crime and certainly successfully link him as far as what the state needs to prove at this particular point to this murder, even if it's not beyond reasonable doubt.
Look, he says when he got to Rez, his life was never the same. He was traumatized, he couldn't sleep, because he realized, I've just done this. And now I don't know where to move from here. And I guess from his part, he was also not aware as to, he's told people, but no one has advised him, listen, go to the police and tell them what you saw. He then, nearly a month after Kirsten Kluyts' body was found, he's then approached by the police to say, here's a photograph, is this you? And he says, yes. I admitted and I said, that's me. The police, he alleges, also slapped him and took him away and took his cell phones and everything like that. But he says he didn't want to, he maintains that he didn't want to be involved in a gender-based violence case. That's just not how he's seen his life to be planning out. He says he understands what it means to interfere with the crime scene. He understands the implications of his actions, which is why he says, I didn't leave Johannesburg because I knew one day this will come out and they will find me. I remember him testifying last week and saying, he kept on saying to his girlfriend, they're going to find me, they're going to find me. And his girlfriend said to him, you're being paranoid. You did nothing wrong. You must understand, he's maintained that he's innocent in this whole thing. He's facing 3 charges. One of premeditated murder. Yeah. The state saying there's CCTV footage that shows him following the deceased. Right. So that CCTV footage we have not seen. We've only seen images, and there's no image that was displayed before court showing him following anywhere around. Number 2, he's facing robbery. They claim that a watch as well as running shoes were taken from the deceased. And the third one is rape. He's maintained his innocence in all these charges. So this matter now for bail, it's set on for today, which is the 18th, then tomorrow the 19th. We expect it to be concluded on the 20th. He's still under cross-examination by the state. The particular loopholes are why he did not take the cell phones and why he did not report this matter, because he seems to be someone that's very aware of the criminal implications of his actions. Then why not report this matter?
The question of race, I mean, the state lawyer saying that particular version is not probable. It actually doesn't make sense.
Because he's maintained in his testimony that he has gone to multiracial schools. He's socialized with both white and black people. But in this case, he told the court, when he realized it was a white person, he then got scared, more scared. He actually said in court that if it was a black person, he thinks he would have reported the matter. He would have turned around and gone to the restaurant and reported the matter. But he says when he realized, now I'm a black young man and this is a white female, he thought for himself that the implications could be far worse. But the state is not buying that. They're saying, you're used to operating in a multiracial sphere. So this shouldn't have been difficult for you to go and report this matter or to know exactly what to do in a case like this, where you are confronted with a situation where you've come across a body. Yes, you are in shock, but certainly you could have turned back or gone forward and then gone to the police station.
Yeah. We also, of course, for the first time getting confirmation now that Kirsten Kluyts was, of course, in the running event, put to the accused, and he says, well, he would not have known that, but 2, that she was pregnant at the time.
So the state has also been trying to give us more detail around the deceased. So to say she was participating in a My Run in Sandton, to say that every other Sunday or every Sunday, that was her pattern. It was known by her family or her friends that on Sundays she goes for a walk and it's that particular activity that she takes part in. Bafana said, I wouldn't know because I don't know her. He's also maintained that he doesn't know her. The state then says, I put it to you that at the time that she died, she was pregnant. Bafana then says, I don't know because I didn't know her before this day. I saw her body lying there. He insists that he stumbled across a body and he unveiled the rag and saw, oh, this is the person. He himself has told the court, I wish I didn't go to the party on the 28th. I wish I didn't fall asleep in the taxi. I wish I didn't get lost. In fact, there was a point during the court proceedings where he was reading out a doctor's report of his mother's, of how this has affected his mother's health, anxiety, and she's not able to sleep. Court had to actually take a break because he started crying. So you can see that this has also had a huge impact. I mean, a lot of questions were posed by the defense on him about how this has had an impact on him. He says, I'm traumatized. I never thought I'd find myself in prison. I never thought I'd find myself in conflict with the law. It's still the early stages of the cross-examination by the state. So far, they've just posed those two questions. Right. So tomorrow we expect them to continue. But the defense has also said they will be bringing 2 other witnesses, which is Bafana Mahungela's father, as well as the caretaker on the day.
Any expert witnesses coming on to, I suppose, also testify on his mental state?
For now, no details have been brought before court in as far as bringing some expert witnesses. We know that today the defense did go through some cell phone records that placed Bafana in Alex and placed the other cell phone there, but it was not really interrogated inside court. It was not actually clear as to why it was brought up at the time that it was brought up. But of course, you can, I don't know how to explain it. You can see that he is troubled by what is happening around him. But at the same time, people are asking themselves, this T-shirt situation, why did you pull the clothes? Why did you put on the T-shirt? So I guess as the state continues to cross-examine him over the next couple of days, we'll get more clarity around his state of mind and particularly around what other evidence the state is going to bring before court, because these are very gruesome crimes that he's charged of. Premeditated murder, and he claims to not know this person. Rape, the DNA results are not yet concluded. Right. Robbery. Right. So these are very serious. So the state needs to also be very sure of its evidence and its investigations in this matter.
Zikhona Tshona, appreciate your time. Thank you for your intervention this afternoon.